Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new, thanks for stopping by. Today is my final door video, so you might say that's part 4, but then they'll be ready to paint and install. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the Ryobi Hinge Mortiser, another fairly simple tool and also inexpensive. This can be used with 3-inch to 5-inch door hinges, can be used for round or square hinges, comes with a router bit, and a self-centering hinge bit to make your screw holes on the door and your door frames if they aren't already there. Setting your hinge size is fairly easy. All you need to do is locate the corresponding hinge size on the template itself, then place this little gray plastic piece into the slot with the corresponding hinge size. I'm going to be using 3.5-inch hinges, so that's where I place it here. And then once you do that, all you gotta do is place it down on the door, then tighten the knob to secure it to the door to make sure it doesn't move while you're cutting out the hinge guides. As well, on the side of the guide, it has depth guides to set your router depth for either 1/4-inch hinges or 5/8-inch hinges. Double check your hinges before cutting the hinges out so you have the right depth there. But once you have that all set up, you're ready to go and get your hinges cut. So let's jump over to the action. Now, I already had measured out where my hinges would go on the door. Basically, I placed the old door on top of the new door, measured from the top down, and got those set there. Now that I know where they're located, I can get the routing guide set, tighten it up to the door, then set my router bit depth. In this shot, I had already set up my router bit depth, but just to show you where it is, that's where I'm going to need it, and you just can place the router on top of the guide and set it from there. So, now that that's all good to go, I'm going to go ahead and make a cut here. Now that I have it cut, I'm going to remove the guide, and I'm just going to double check that the depth is correct by using one of my hinges and placing it there. If you cut it a little shallow, you can adjust your router just to make sure, but best case is you do cut it shallow and have to go a little deeper rather than too deep, then you have to figure something out there. But this was set perfectly, so it's all good to go. I'll go ahead and show you the steps again from the other side of the door. So the round parts of the hinges are towards the bottom here. So I'll place the guide on, tighten it down, and I suggest double checking the depth of your bit every time. You don't have to, but just in case you accidentally make an adjustment on your router, it is good to do so. I didn't double check, but I suggest doing so. Here's a quick look at the cut that I made just by following the outside edge. You can see it cuts nice and round. So I'll need to finish this up, and I'll go ahead and do that now. And I just grabbed another hinge to double check the depth, and it is perfect, so this door is good to go. Now, again, I did a little bit of a montage, well, speed run, to see how fast I could do a few doors. So, let's jump into that. So, to cut out those 4 hinges of the 2 doors, it took me just over 3 minutes. Now, I had more footage to this, but I'm not sure what happened, so I'll only be able to show you how fast I cut out those 2 doors. But overall, gotta say it was easy, and made my life easier getting everything ready to go for the 12 or 13 doors I had to cut out. So, I have to say overall this is a great little tool. Now, I have one minor complaint about it. The rounded guides kind of broke on me, and they also don't line up perfectly here. However, the hinges do work out, they fit, everything seems good to go, so we'll see what happens when I finally install the doors. So here's one of the doors that I bored out, routed the hinges, the latch, and trimmed up to fit the door frame. It does sit closer on the hinge side, but I'm not really worried about that. You can adjust the hinges. I haven't done that yet, but as you can see, it's sitting in there. The gaps look good, so if I adjusted the hinges properly, it'd be fine. But as you can see, the door opens. There's my latch. Remember we routed those out in a previous video. It closes, so you can't tug it open. Everything lines up the way I measured. And I'll just show you the hinges on the back side. So there's the top hinge. You can see it's screwed in and fits there perfectly. And down here is the lower hinge. Now, I gotta do a little touch up on the paint, but I'm not too worried. Overall, everything worked out great, and I got doors. And here it is from the back side here. You can't even see the lines on this side, so overall, worked out great. But anyway, that is going to be all for this video today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. As well, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it as it helps me out. I thank you all for stopping by today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.